All right, guys, let's wrap up these field experience pieces. This should only take a couple minutes, but I just wanted to make sure that I had enough information to you. And then I promise we won't have this many videos for the remaining weeks. I just want to make sure that you're set up so that you don't have questions as you dig in. So at the end of the last video, the field experience 1 of 2 videos, I went through very quickly the pieces of your work and your intervention groups. So again, make sure you have a group that you're meeting at least 6 times for 20 minutes per session. Elementary will do literacy focused. The one of you who's not an elementary candidate, you will do it in your content area during your field experience. And then you will maintain a log of those dates and times in your sessions as you go through. So please make sure that that's kept accurate, especially for those of you who are already in schools because you're TAs. It will be important for you to distinguish that you've met that time requirement. So your log will be 1 page, and then for each session you'll have another page where you are documenting your standard. And then for reading, you will most likely be choosing one of the big 5 areas for math. If not, then it will be based on assessment data that you receive from your clinical teacher or your partner teacher for the schools where you are. I will go into that a little bit further in just a second. Make sure that you are also documenting for each session what materials you need, the student work samples. Make sure you have the pre-assessment information before you start the first session. Then you'll also need post-assessment in your last session. You also, for each one, you're going to include a strength, an area for growth, and a challenge that happened while you were in that session. So the data as the teacher. So you are going to keep track of the data and the students as they progress through your group and your time together, which 6 sessions is not a lot. So it's going to be hard to find a lot of growth. Maybe. It depends on the student and the work that you're doing. But just know that I understand that 6 sessions is not a lot, so it may be difficult to show that growth. But as long as you're showing that you're tracking the data, that's the important part. So you are going to have some sort of system, however best suits you. For those of you who are in Education 355 with me last time, you can use the same kind of setup that you used for that with your assessment notebook there. You are going to make sure that you're charting or graphing from pre-assessment to post-assessment for each student. You need to make sure you have notes about their strengths, their next steps, and your evidences. So how do you know what is a strength for them and what they need to work on? I'll share with you some samples. I'll upload those into the week 2 folder just so you can see some samples for that. But then what's different is that this time the student is going to be tracking the data also. So they need to be tracking what was their pre-assessment score, what is their goal, and at least a midterm point. So after 3 or 4 sessions, they should have some sort of graphable point that's taking them from pre-assessment to post-assessment so they know, are they on track or on trend to be able to do better on their post-assessment. So at the end of your group time, you're going to be sharing a summary of student growth. That includes the data. So all you're doing is reflecting on this information here, and you're putting it into a summary. And then you're going to have a final paragraph that is a reflection of your overall experience of the 6 sessions. And so that is a part of your grade as well. Now, the presentation, thank you for those of you who have sent questions. The presentation, since we're a virtual class, we're online, is going to be a little bit different, but should be exciting. I can't wait to actually, 1, see you guys, and 2, hear the great work that you're doing. So it is 50 points to do this presentation. You are going to be doing, if you have a preferred method, if you've had to do this for any other class, that's fine. For these videos that I share with you guys in class, I use Screencast-O-Matic. So here is the website. If you just Google search Screencast-O-Matic, this will come up. It is a free membership. You don't have to pay anything. And when you get started and you log in, it gives you a quick and easy way to upload a video that's no more than 15 minutes. And so it's important to know that ahead of time, that you only have 15 minutes. You will start your recorder, and it will prompt you with a little box right around this area if you want to do a computer only screen, so you would not see any visual of you recording it, or if you want to only record yourself, or if you want to do both. Please do both. I want to be able to see your screen, and I want to be able to see you. And so you'll set that up as both, and then you'll be able to record. There's a little button down at the bottom that says REC for record, and then you just press the blue pause button when you're finished. So the things that I'm looking for as you're creating that video: are you maintaining good eye contact? So obviously I want you to be looking at the camera, but then I realize you're going to have to be looking at your presentation as I do. So please make sure that you are using good eye contact with the camera, that you use a clear and audible voice. I want to be able to understand you. So for some of us, we need to slow down a little bit as we're speaking. So just be aware of that. Make sure that your delivery is poised, controlled, and smooth. You're using good language skills and pronunciation. The length of your presentation is within the assigned time limits. So it cannot go over 15 minutes, so I will leave it at that. For the main campus course, it's a little bit different, but it just cannot go over the 15 minutes. I would say it should be no less than 10 if you're talking through all the points of your field experience, but it should be somewhere around that 10-minute mark. And then visuals. So you are creating a PowerPoint or a Prezi or some sort of visual that you're going to have on the screen as you are sharing your field experience presentation. So it can be whatever you want, but you're just going to kind of walk us through what happened. I would love for you to include some of that information on your the first part of your reflection of your field experience. So if you can kind of give us a little bit of history and information about the growth mindset and assessment practices that are happening in your classroom where you're doing your intervention group, that would be an amazing connection for us to be able to make for you. But these are the things that I'm looking for. And so you will share that with me. You can upload at the end after you record your video. They give you a little prompt that asks you if you want to upload to YouTube or a couple of other options for saving. So I will tell you it's easiest if you upload to YouTube and then you share that link. That's kind of how I do it in Blackboard, but it's through, I kind of create the link embedded within the course and you just see the video once it's connected there. But if you prefer to do it one of the other ways, that's fine. But I do just want to make sure that I draw your attention to the top of the rubric for your field experience and intervention group. That here it is due that end of week 8, that's Sunday at 11:59. But I do want to reward some of you, or those of you who are able to complete this work early. If you are able to complete this entire rubric, your group and everything, get your hours in, your sessions in, and all of this reflection finished, if you are able to turn it in by February 26th, at 11:59, February 26th, then I will add 10 points to your grade for this field experience and intervention group. If you're not quite able to get it in by February 26th, but you can get it in a little bit early by March 2nd, then I'll still give you 5 points. So if you cannot get it in by February 26th, but you can get it in on the 27th, 28th, 1st, or 2nd, then you fall into this 5-point. Starting March 2nd at 11:59 is the latest that you can turn it in for those 5 extra credit points. So starting March 3rd, you just get your regular base of 170 points. So I do just want to make sure that you have that information. All right, guys, I know this was a lot of information, but I wanted to make sure that, especially since we're not meeting face-to-face, you have a chance to hear about your field experience and what you're going to be doing. I'll talk more about it as we go through the weeks, but this is kind of the biggest concentrated chunk of information for you. So if you have any questions, please email me. If you missed the keyword or response for week 2, check back into the videos that have been uploaded this week. And I've also included the week 1 keyword and response in the first video for this week. So please make sure you check back for that to get your extra bonus points, 10 points per week. All right, guys, have a great second week of classes. I hope school goes well. I hope we're there every day and we don't have more snow days. Although I'm sure you're probably appreciative of some snow days, so that you have some time to get this work finished. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to hearing from you.